Oh yeah, check it out, everybody. Looky here, looky here. Thing looks very aggressive just sitting there. Yeah, what's up everybody? In this video I have in my possession here the all-new Verus Flux. I guess I fluxed around and found out, didn't I? And this is the medium large. There's a small medium out there, and actually my buddy Matt from Eddie Line Creations, he has the small medium, and he will be having a full-on video of his opinion of that from a lightweight paddler. He's a really strong paddler and really knows his stuff. If you guys get a chance, go check that out. I will leave a link below whenever he gets that. So what is the Verus Flux? Well, first off, it's a kayak. How about that? But no, what it really is, it's a river running type creeker type boat. You could see it's following that kind of same thing as the river runner creeker, where it's more kind of a all around type river runner creeker. And there's some cool stuff going on here I want to show you guys because I like what they did. So yeah, let's get into the walkthrough now. All right, first off, let's talk colors. So this color right here is called the Miami Vice Fade. There's actually 5 colors you can get in this. There's the Dark Side Fade, the Iceberg Fade, Orchard Solid, which is basically a solid pink, and the Slime Fade, which is like a green-black fade. I like it when manufacturers kind of give you a wide variety of colors and at least some solids in there. So let me go ahead and break down the specs for you guys. The overall length of this thing is 8'8". The widest point is 26 inches, and the overall volume is 88 gallons is what they have as far as the volume on the medium large. The weight is 50 pounds. The cockpit sizing is an XL cockpit, and the paddler weight range that they're suggesting is 150 to 250, which is on a medium large creek boat. It's pretty fair. So yeah, let me go ahead and start back here at the stern and just kind of work my way up. They went very wide on their stern, and they have some aggressive kind of styling that they went with here, like a triangle type pattern there. And they have rubberized drain plug. It is molded in. So yeah, that works, and look how tight it gets. It's rubberized. It's not going to break on you. It's recessed in slightly. Looks like they have a cool little logo around it. So good job on the drain plug. There is some texturing back here. Really cool texturing. I like the texturing on this thing. Verus handles are very strong. They are metal handles into inserts, so they're very strong. They won't break on you. I definitely trust these handles with pretty much all of you guys' lives. Moving up, they did mold in the logo, so this is kind of like embossed in right here, and it's very easy to see. Some manufacturers don't make that easy to see, and the reason that is because this is polished and that's textured. So they kind of textured in the M/L on it. Flux logo, the logo's meaning behind it, you know, they kicked around a lot of ideas and they ended up on the word flux, which is kind of cool, you know, and flux around and find out, you know, I kind of like that hashtag. This is like a lotus flower with like waterfall, kind of like falling into new beginnings. Really like the meaning behind logos like that. It looks good from a distance, easy to read, and kind of just looks cool. So good job on the logo. Molded in wall holders. They're not very deep. I would have probably went a little deeper with them, but maybe it's going to hold the wall just fine. It feels like I'm shaking the wall and I don't feel it loosening up. These cutouts right here are always good for like getting your hand in or carrying the boat over your head. Easy to grab a hold of, easy to clip into. Nice wide area. I can almost fit my hand upside down and backwards through there. So good job on that. Verus Kayaks is 100% made in the USA now. No longer made in, you know, overseas. They just molded in, please recycle. So they have the recycle logo right there. And you know, the plastic feels really solid. I know the resin they're using, there's a few resin manufacturers in the US, and this is some of the best resin on the market today. I trust this resin. I can kind of feel of a boat now and tell you about what kind of resin they're using. Feels solid all the way through. The specs feel very solid, just feeling of it. Very good quality on their molding also, by the way. I'll come back to the outfitting. Let me move on up. Texturing here, but look out what they did right here. This is really cool. So if you guys have ever gotten in and out of a kayak and you go to put your hands right here and it's wet and your hands fall off and you could jam a hand into a rock or even break some fingers, one thing that I always like to see is some sort of little texturing. Well, what Verus did, they actually added texturing down so it's a deeper texture and it's offset. So it's a very grippy right here for getting in and out of the kayak. So that way, look where your hand pushes just perfect there, and it adds some texturing and grip right there. I really like that. Seat bolts here, you know, I would like to see bigger washers. Maybe they will go to some bigger washers. This is an adjustable seat. It moves forward and back. I'll come back to that. Big handle this away in the front. You know, this handle's like mounted vertical instead of horizontal, so it adds like a quicker grab through. But one thing is, like, it's easy to run a strap through when you run a handle like that instead of like that, so the strap's not twisted around. Your strap, when it's on top of your car, will go right through there, and that's on there tight. That feels good. That handle feels nice and safe. Another big nice metal handle here into molded in inserts. That thing has a braking strength of thousands of pounds. So the styling on this boat has a very futuristic styling. The way they kind of did these cutouts right here, and the way they cut it down right here, looks really good. The way all that kind of looks. Very nice profile, just kind of like looking at it, the way they have these deep cutouts right here. Really good. I love a good deck styling on a boat. So there's the overall deck and walkthrough on all that. Let me go ahead and start breaking down the outfitting. Number one, look at this. You get a burlap sack full of foam. Is that not awesome? No more plastic. Like, that's really good for the environment. It's all recyclable. A burlap sack is the way to go over plastic. And looking inside the bag, so opening the bag up, it looks like what you get in here. Some hip shims, a owner's manual, gives you a breakdown of the step out, how everything works on it, the ratchets, the bulkhead, storing your kayak, just your basic owner's manual. Oh, you get a big Verus sticker, a foam seat pad for going under. So you can remove this and put that seat pad down if you want. Oh, that looks cool. That's a Flux sticker. That looks awesome. I love that. That's really cool looking, a Flux sticker. It looks like you get an adjustment tool, and it is a number 4. All the bolts are number 4, which is pretty much like standard around the world, actually. And it looks like you get some bulkhead foam. It is not peel and stick. You do glue it on yourself, but it's 2 little bulkhead like foam foot blocks. And I think that's it. Oh, one more sticker. Check it out. Man, they gave you a whole sticker pack in here. Built by boaters, made in the USA. Verus Kayaks. Very cool. I like that. So there you go. There's all the outfitting kind of kit that you get right here. Let me go ahead and start breaking down what I think of the outfitting here. Number one, they use ratchets. I love me a ratcheted back band. A slot right here, so they're running down and around. And that's kind of like my little hack system right there that runs off of that back bolt. And this webbing is some of the strongest webbing on the market. This is actually seatbelt webbing. It's so strong. Braking strength in the thousands of pounds. You'll definitely blow your ratchet out before you break this webbing. They use the double cam locks that they've been using for a while, but this one has these little metal kind of like hooks right here. So it's like a secondary, just in case this slips, you can slide that in there and that'll bite down on it so it won't slip. Pretty good way of doing a back band, actually, to make that. Their first version was plastic back here, and they had learned from that, and they have this buckle right here that runs into these things, and that seems to work really well. I sit down in it and I push back on it really hard, and it didn't move at all, so good job on that. And there is some adjustment right down here at the bottom if you want to pull that down. One thing I would like to see is like to have my back bands connected to the seat and not moving up and down. But you know what? That works just fine. You can see accessory loops back here. It looks like it has some kind of plastic like tubing around some bungee. Those work really well. Foam pillar in the back. Really easy to get back in here. That is a very low seat. I like how you can access this stern. Look how easy. That'll be a great overnighter because look how wide you can get that in. So you could really pack a lot of gear back there because the back of the seat is low. And check this seat out. This is an actual rotomolded seat pan onto a rotomolded track, and it's just pressured down in there from the seat towers being pressured down. It has foam right there, and it feels very solid. It feels like a good creek boat setup. I really like the way it feels right there. The hip pads are a wraparound top style hip pad that wraps around the seat. Those will not come off. And to adjust this seat, you got 2 bolts here and 2 bolts there, and you loosen these up, you push a plate down, and it's on a slot in there. So it's a slot there. You're gonna lift this up as a secondary measure. This unscrews, and there's a series of inserts in the seat. So see how you could kick this seat forward or back, and it gives you some adjustment there. Track right here that holds down, holds a throw rope, water bottle there, molded in thigh hooks. This does not have adjustable thigh hooks. They did put like a structure building in there, and these are way stronger than the older ones. Glue on foam padding that goes under there. Moving up, it's got this rotomolded step out pillar, and the bulkhead in here has the 2 bolts right here, 2 knobs that you adjust there. But check out that bulkhead plate. So that bulkhead plate looks to be a maybe 5 or 10 degree angle going up with grips on it. Pretty nice the way they did that bulkhead. And I don't know if you can see on this side, but you see that screw right there? that screw, you'll loosen that screw up and you can bring the bulkhead, you can adjust the bulkhead in and out as you bring the bars back, and then you slide the bulkhead apart, then you can foam it out. A lot of structure because they've got this big like structure built in, and this handle kind of screws and holds it all in with a foam pillar that goes up in here. The outfitting worked. I didn't see any issues with it. I sat down in it, I kind of tinkered around with it, got a feel for it, and the outfitting worked well. So yeah, there you go, everybody. That's the deck and the outfitting. Let me go ahead and roll it up on its side here, and let's look over this sidewall. There's an additional rail. It looks like a rail that runs right here that drops down and it tapers down like that, running up. It's kind of a flat sidewall here, but then it cuts off. So yeah, there you go. That's the sidewall right there. Let's roll it over and let's see the business. All right, I got it rolled over here. Let's take a look at this hull. I did notice there's a small peak right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. So it like comes up and then it separates down right there. The rail doesn't start till around about maybe about 2 feet up is where the rail starts. And then this rail runs down and gets more aggressive all the way down and then runs all the way out to the stern. And the stern is very wide with a very boxed off edge right there, which I like a lot actually. That looks really good how wide that stern is. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it actually has a little up tilt, like up kick rocker. The rocker comes down, there's like a kick rocker here, and then it tapers up right there. I always like a rail that's run all the way out like that. You look at this, it's not an overly wide flat area. It's kind of rounded off. It's more displacement right up through here, and then it flattens out about right there. It starts flattening out, and then it has a lot of water line pretty much from there to there. So it's like very flat, and then it just kicks right here and then kicks up here. So it's a very long water line. So it's probably going to be decently fast, considering that it's only 8'8". That's probably going to be decently fast. But I pull out the trusty ruler. Let's look at these edges here. So you see how flat that is. And when I look at something like this, I look at the relations to where the edge drop is, and you could see that's a pretty good drop right there. So this is going to be very friendly as far as like creeks and a kind of a hybrid type hull, because of the fact that there's a gap right here, but it's not a super sharp edge that runs down. That's a lot of kayak inside the water, that from there to there. Let's go ahead and roll it back over. So yeah, there it is, everybody. That's my detailed walkthrough of the Verus Flux. Medium large, by the way. You guys leave in the comments below if you've paddled one of these, what your opinion is on it, because I know this boat's been out for a while and a few people already own one. I actually know a couple people that's got one. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it. That's all I got today on the Verus Flux. You go flux yourself. Let's get the Flux out of here. See you guys in the next video. Watch for the on-water review. I will have that coming soon. See you, everybody.